The only local news teams taking action for you. KIMA KEPR Action News starts now.
Coming up this morning on Action News, the fires in Oregon. Hundreds of thousands of acres are still burning this morning, and now weather forecasts for the area are hinting at more trouble for crews trying to put it out. We'll fill you in on the latest. Plus, as we close in on Election Day, less than 2 weeks from now, Kittitas County is hoping voters will lift their levy to support local emergency medical services. It's roughly $71 extra a year, but it'll get them new equipment. We'll hear from a medical professional. And we talk the weekend in Columbia Park. Crews are getting ready for the largest event in the Tri-Cities. Water Follies is back. There will be some closures for it, though, so keep an ear out for them. And in Richland, Art in the Park is marking its 75th return with more than 300 artists, vendors, and performers. We'll get you ready to get outdoors. That story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, we're going to be talking about the Oregon fires this morning. We'll talk about the Yakima County fires in the next show, but the Yakima weather cam really says it all. Smoke, haze, really indicating how much fire activity is really happening over there.
Yeah, there is big fires burning around the region in Oregon and in Washington. Over 900,000 acres now are burning between the two states. Looking in Yakima, this almost looks like something that we would show in December through February when it's kind of prime fog season, but that's not fog, that is smoke. I will say that the gradient of smoke in Yakima is actually quite remarkable, as some air quality sensors are reading good the farther west you go, or excuse me, the farther east you go, and some are recording unhealthy the farther east you go, and it's only a matter of miles where you see that kind of gradient. So we are looking at a wide variety of air quality readings in Yakima. All of Yakima County, though, is under an air quality alert. We'll talk more about that in a bit. We are at 60 degrees right now, though, so that is a pretty comfortable morning. Again, we're not in the 70s that we have seen in days prior. Here's a look at your weather headlines. Haze and smoke will be on the increase for today. Temperature-wise, we will see highs into the 80s on this Thursday and Friday. But then as we go towards the weekend, we do see those temperatures back up into the 90s. I'll continue to break down your weather forecast. We'll take a look at air quality, and we will also have a look at that smoke forecast all straight ahead.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in the Beaver State. Major fires torching hundreds of thousands of acres continue to burn across eastern Oregon, and now weather conditions are making it even more dangerous. There are red flag, flash flood, and excessive heat warnings because the region is expecting abundant lightning and winds that could reach 60 miles an hour plus. And the heat continues to be relentless. State fire leaders say even though it's cooler at night, thermal layers in the canyons can trap that heat. The operations section chief recently praised crews, saying they're doing an amazing job. Meanwhile, those wildfires are also threatening homes and businesses, including the largest active fire in the U.S. K2's Victor Park reports from Hood River, where there are evacuation orders.
Resources are being poured onto several wildfires burning across Oregon. On the east side of the state is the Durkee Fire, now the largest active one in the country. It is one of 60 wildfires burning across Oregon and Washington, fueled by wind, grass, and timber. We're here in the town of Odell, surrounded by two wildfires. To the east is the Microwave Tower Fire, but let's walk over this way because you're going to see all this smoke and ash coming from the Whiskey Creek Fire, which is making it difficult for some people to breathe. Imelda Chavez's family had to leave a nearby fair.
Everything was just haze, and we're like, we could start smelling the smoke. And my friend here that I came with, she's got asthma and it triggered it. Yeah, that's why we're leaving.
James Glenn works in Odell, a town with a lot of farms and a few shops.
I'm just hoping it doesn't get any closer.
The microwave fire is threatening at least 500 people who are under evacuation orders, including those who live in Hood River and the town of Mosier.
My son-in-law went to Mosier to help a friend evacuate, and that's when we started thinking about it.
An American Red Cross shelter has been set up at Hood River Middle School. The Microwave Tower fire has been burning since Monday, but as it continues to creep towards nearby towns, for Chavez, this would be her first time preparing to evacuate.
We've actually talked about it already, and we wouldn't hesitate. I mean, we're not going to take any chances.
Now, authorities say the fires were caused by people, but would not say how. Ranchers who graze their cattle on the open range are facing a major challenge. They're asking themselves what to do when there's fire in every direction. Near the town of Haines in Baker County, the fairgrounds have become a gathering spot where ranchers can keep their herds. The president of the Oregon Cattlemen's Association says this is a historic event.
This is the worst summer. Yeah, I was visiting with my Forest Service ranger yesterday, and he said it's like an apocalypse. There's just fires everywhere. They just keep popping up.
Because of all these fires, the Interstate 84 corridor remains closed from Pendleton to Ontario. For all of the latest evacuations and fire activity, head over to our website, KEPRtv.com. Switching gears this morning, voters in Upper Kittitas County are tasked with deciding on a levy lid lift to support their local emergency medical services. Voters are being asked to pay an extra 25 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value so that a new ambulance with advanced life support equipment can be brought to serve people near Cle Elum and Easton, along with other locations.
We anticipate that the added cost will be about $71 a year. So that's what we're asking for. And again, this levy lid lift just takes it back up to what was already approved by the voters in 2016.
In 2016, Kittitas County voters passed a levy for the same reason, but due to limitations on the levy from year to year, that has gone down to 12 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. A reminder, your completed ballots must be placed in a ballot drop box by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, August 6th, or if you mail it in, it must be postmarked by August 6th or before. On to some lighter news this morning. It's shaping up to be a busy week at Columbia Park as crews set up for the Water Follies. Cranes are already in position along the edge of the river in preparation for the incoming hydroplanes. Organizers tell us to expect more action this year.
We got vintage boats, we got E350s, we got the Grand Prix, and we got 2.5 liters. So we're really excited about our boat count. We're going to have lots of races, a lot less dead time on the water. We're really excited about it.
All bike trails along the Columbia River in Kennewick and Pasco will be closed, and Washington State troopers tell us they'll be conducting emphasis patrols throughout the weekend along Interstate 82, as well as State Route 240 and Highway 395. Art in the Park is a tradition for most in Richland, and this year more than 300 artists, vendors, and performers are sharing their work in Howard Amon Park. This year marks the 75th year for Art in the Park, and we're told it's always been a free event and now a growing festival for the community to enjoy. Organizers tell us on top of local creators, the event draws in creators from all over the Northwest, the nation, and even from around the world.
We've got live music starting from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hill Stomp, Bon Bon Vivant, and quite a few other artists are going to be there. There's excellent food trucks. The weather is going to be great.
Now, the event kicks off tomorrow at 8 a.m. and goes until 6 p.m. both Friday and Saturday. You can learn more by going over to our website, KEPRtv.com. And with the two big events this weekend, Ben Franklin Transit is providing shuttle service if you don't want to mess with trying to find that perfect parking spot. The fare is also donation only, benefiting Mid-Columbia Meals on Wheels. For Art in the Park, the shuttle will run Friday and Saturday from Fran Rich Stadium to Howard Amon Park. It runs every 15 minutes from 8:30 in the morning until 7 at night, with stops at the Knight Street Transit Center, George Washington Way and Lee Boulevard, and the Uptown Shopping Center. For Water Follies, it'll run Saturday and Sunday every hour from 8 in the morning until noon, returning 20 minutes after the last heat. The pickup spots are Lamson Stadium, the Knight Street Transit Center, and the Hapo Center. Now, Jefferson, the Art in the Park Festival director, said the weather is going to be great. Is that something that you can concur?
I would say that the weather is going to be great from a pure weather standpoint. However, with all the fires burning, there is reason to believe that we will see increased smoke and haze in the sky, so that might play a hindrance, especially if you have any kind of respiratory issues. You might not want to be out for too long. But in terms of just weather, we are going to be looking at pretty nice weather. Even today, highs will be topping out in the 80s around eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. First time we can say 80s for quite a long time. Now, I will note that as we go into the weekend, we might see temperatures a few degrees warmer into the 90s. We will talk about that, and we will also talk about that haze and smoke forecast coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. The time now is 5:09. Coming up on Keeper KIMA this morning, national news. House lawmakers have agreed to create a task force to investigate the security lapses surrounding the Trump rally in Pennsylvania. where a shooter managed to scale a building and fire several shots towards the former president, where one person was killed and 2 others were severely injured. We'll update you on their condition after the break. But later in the show, health news, a study out of Finland suggests air pollution from traffic could be linked to Alzheimer's and dementia because of the way it negatively impacts the powerhouse of the cell. We'll share the details of the research. Stay with us, though. We're just getting started this hour. There's plenty of news and weather heading your way.